Hey everyone, Matt here from ClickStudies, and today we're going to look at some IELTS reading strategies, and we're going to look at an example, quite an interesting example around New Zealand. So we're going to look at some matching headings, we're going to look at some true, false, not given, and we're also going to look at some multiple choice. So let's get into it. Here we have the title, The Wonders of New Zealand, and we've got this paragraph, the first paragraph. Now this is quite an easy example. The text is probably a bit easier than what you'll find on IELTS, but it's about finding the strategies and using the strategies correctly. That's the most important thing. And of course the strategy that we always talk about is skimming and starting with the title. So The Wonders of New Zealand, that's a title that hopefully will trigger some ideas for you. It'll help you think about New Zealand, maybe the natural scenery, about the volcanoes or the glaciers and some of the plant life and trees and things like that. So hopefully that gives you the feeling of what the article is going to be about. Of course, we also talk about the first paragraph being really important in a reading because it sort of opens up it gives an introduction to what's expected in the whole passage. We have an opening sentence here. People often say that New Zealand is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. So again, we're getting the feeling that yes, that's the sort of topic we're talking about, the natural beauty. And the final sentence of an introduction is also important. We sometimes call that the thesis statement. It doesn't always work exactly like a thesis statement, but it will give you a pretty good idea of the types of things that we can expect to see in this article. The natural scenery of New Zealand and the small population of friendly people are just a few of the reasons why visitors find it so attractive. Okay, so we've done a little bit of skimming, and just from that I should have a pretty good prediction of what the whole article is going to be about. So let's move to the example paragraphs. We've got 3 paragraphs that we're going to be focusing on in the next few exercises. So we've got our first one that we've already covered. The next one is talking about the 2 main islands known as North Island, South Island. North Island features a series of volcanoes while South Island experiences colder weather and has a landscape. So we're talking really here about the geography. And if I was going to make a road map for this, I would probably just write geography here, and I might underline North and South Island. Going back to the passage in the 3rd paragraph, New Zealand's plants and animals are found nowhere else in the world because the country is so isolated. Okay, so plants and animals, famous animal, the kiwi bird, the tree. Okay, so what we've got here is information that is really about the natural landscape and the natural fauna and flora, I guess, of the country, the plants and animals. So let's have a look. Matching headings: adventurous pursuits, fauna and flora, popular destination, geographical features, and population growth. Now, often in IELTS, as you know, they have the Roman numerals, so you have to get used to writing these, because often your answer, when you're writing down your answer, you'll need to actually write those symbols. So in terms of the actual question, we've got this, and it can be a little bit confusing when you first do your practice tests in IELTS, but it's a pretty simple concept really. Basically this is saying, what is paragraph A? So if that's question number 1, paragraph A, which matching heading goes in for paragraph A? And then B and then C. So for A, let's just start with the first one. People often say, okay, beautiful country, Pacific Ocean, few of the reasons why visitors find it so attractive. Adventurous pursuits. Well, adventurous pursuits is whitewater rafting and mountain climbing and these types of things, and we know that's popular in New Zealand, but probably not, well, definitely not as part of this information. Fauna and flora, popular destination. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That could be the one. Geographical features, I think that's a little bit further down. Population growth. No, it's not about the population growth. So here, I think the correct answer is 3. So I would just write the symbol 3, the Roman symbol for 3, which is kind of like 3 eyes, 3 lowercase i's. Number 2, paragraph B. So this paragraph here, what is the matching heading? I'll give you about 10 seconds to try and work it out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so hopefully you've chosen. Hopefully it's not too difficult. And same for this paragraph, paragraph C. Plants and animals, most famous animal. Okay, so again, which one is it out of these? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's have a look at the answers. Like we said, 3 is the correct answer for paragraph A, so that's the correct match. B is paragraph 4, so that matches there, geographical features. And C is 2, fauna and flora, so we're talking about bird life, we're talking about plant life, and other species. So there you go, quite easy, and you transfer that information into your answer sheet. True, false, not given. Alright, so New Zealand is often considered to be a very attractive country because of its natural scenery and small population of friendly people. So where do you think we're going to find the answer? Well, one of the strategies we talk about with IELTS is the order of the answers. So we often have the answers following that particular order. So we're likely to see question 4 up here, question 5 here, question 6 down here, because we know that it follows the order. So it's going to be at the top somewhere. Very attractive country, one of the most beautiful countries. Okay, that's a match, that's a synonym match, because of its natural scenery. Natural scenery of New Zealand, yes. Why it's so attractive. Natural scenery, small population of friendly people. Small population of friendly. It's very, very similar. There's no contradiction. There's no negative. If there was a not in there, or do not, or something like that, you might think it's a false. But because it's a positive sentence, and this is a bit of positive information as well, then that is a match. I would say that's true. Number 5, the weather is generally warmer on South Island than it is on North Island. So I'll give you 10 seconds to try and find that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so hopefully you've found your answer around that little area. And here, the kiwi bird makes a knocking sound that some people find disturbing. Is that true, false, or not given? And again, I'll give you about 15 seconds to try and work that out. All right, so hopefully you've got your answer. Let's have a look now and turn to some of the answers. So true, yes. Considered to be a very attractive country because of its natural scenery, a small population. That is true. Like we said, we analysed that before. The second one is false. Weather is generally warmer on South Island than it is on North Island. So North Island features a series of volcanoes, while South Island, yes, experiences colder weather. So South is colder. Warmer on South? No, that's exactly opposite. So that's false. Kiwi bird makes a knocking sound that some people find disturbing, which is nocturnal and can't fly, the kiwi bird. All right, so this is called a distractor, and a distractor is when they try and trick you, and this is a bit of a silly trick, really. They're saying knocking sound and nocturnal. Those words, even though they sound similar, they have no connection in meaning. So, and people find disturbing. There's nothing about the reaction of people to this bird, so that's just a not given anyway. So you don't even have to know what the meaning of this word is to find that that is not given. Let's have a look now at multiple choice. So question 7. Visitors in New Zealand discover isolation wherever they visit, a range of natural features, landscapes filled with snow all year round, migrant populations of bird life during summer months. So again, we know that multiple choice follows the order of the passage, so it's probably most likely to be at the top here. isolation wherever they visit. So I do remember the word isolation, geographically isolated in the Pacific Ocean. It's a small country that is geographically isolated. So that is the country that's isolated, but here it's talking about the visitors being isolated, which is not right at all. So no, that's not true. So it's not that one. A range of natural features of interest. Well, that is possible. That's possible. Natural features. So we talked about the natural scenery and the animal and plant life. So that's possible, yes. Landscape filled with snow all year round. Snow-capped mountains. But there's nothing about all year round. There's nothing about 365 days of the year. So, and landscapes, like multiple landscapes, I don't think so. Migrant populations of bird life during summer months. Is there anything about migration, the word migration or moving birds? Not at all. I can't see that. So I would cross out those ones, cross out A as well, and the answer would probably be B. What about this one? The national symbol of New Zealand. Okay, so there's a national symbol. It's around here somewhere. Again, I'll give you about 15 seconds to try and answer that one. Alright, so let's have a look at some of the answers here. So the first one, a range of natural features, natural scenery of New Zealand. So that's a parallel phrase that has the same type of meaning. And the second one, national, does not sleep at night, kiwi bird, which is nocturnal. So this idea of nocturnal means a animal that doesn't sleep at night or a bird that doesn't sleep at night. A bat is nocturnal, so a bat sleeps during the day and is awake at night. So similar to a bat, a kiwi bird is nocturnal. So in this case, you do need to know the answer. If you don't know what the word nocturnal means, another way to find out is to delete what is not true. Nothing about old age in this. National symbol lives in the karri tree. Nothing about the kiwi tree living in the karri tree. No. So logically, that is the only answer that's possible. So there you go. There's a few strategies to help you succeed on IELTS reading.